Well, hello again, dear Fatima.
Hi.
Let's start our session with our addresses. Say hello to our addresses and say whatever you want, dear.
Yeah, today in our meeting, we are supposed to talk to another group,
Yeah.
and that group is our addresses.
Yeah.
You, dear friends, that watching us from the whole part of the world. We're talking about the family life and Islamic lifestyle.
In previous meeting that we had, we talked about the actual role of a Muslim woman in this lifestyle, this modern society that we have, and about her being a victim, or sometimes the wrong things that she does in the family, maybe fighting back her husband, or I don't know, anything, being hostile in
Yeah.
a family. And you talked very, very, talked about really great stuff. You told me great narrations from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the role of her being a catalyzer in the family. That was such a great thing. And today, if you agree, I will pour you some tea, of course,
Yeah,
but
thank
just wait
you.
for a second.
Sure.
But I will ask you and see your point of view about, there are some points in life that a woman after marriage, especially, when she regrets her marriage, when she have discouragement, I don't know, anything that she would say that, okay, why did I do that? She regrets every single thing that happened in her life, and why is she here now? And I want to see what is your point of view about this thing.
There is a point about the book that I have to tell you and our addressees.
I'll be glad to hear.
That, yeah. You know, I'm telling everyone who really likes to read these two books,
Yeah.
you should read both of them together. You know why?
That's just
Because,
only one.
first of all, the list of the contents, when you look at the list of the contents of the book that is about every woman should know, when you read it and finish the book, you think that you may get a kind of biased perspective. And
I
think
was
that,
like that. I really
really
thought that.
and
maybe
I hope that you have finished the
everything
second
is
one.
about women. Everything should be done by
Have
a
you done the
woman.
second book too?
And when I read that, I understood that, okay, so
Yeah.
there is a mutual thing. There's a thing that must be
Yeah.
really equal.
You shouldn't read just one of these books because
Okay.
it gives you a kind of biased and prejudiced perspective.
Exactly.
But the second book make this
First
volume of the book
Yeah.
perfect and complete this one.
Yeah.
Because it talks, and it addressed the men as well.
Right.
And in this book also, they, Islam and the pious kind of lifestyle asked both sides to, do whatever they can to maintain the peace and, harmony
life.
of life, to keep it and maintain the balance of the life, as you said.
True.
Zahrajan, when we read this book, we find that there are some tips. Some tips that are given to the women.
Okay.
It seems that we ask them to sacrifice whatever they have or they need or they want from the virtues, from the beliefs, to keep this kind of peace that we're looking for.
Yeah.
But this is a kind of mutual way. Both
That is all I'm
sides
asking.
should-
Please talk about
Yeah,
that.
it is mutual because
that is not
marriage is
only-
something that has two sides.
Exactly.
One side cannot compromise and sacrifice and devote him or herself for the life, and the other side just sit here and say that do whatever you can for me.
Yeah.
Okay, to keep the harmony and balance of the life.
It feels like a slavery here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So it's wrong. And in our researches, we should, convey this message to everyone that if you want a healthy marriage, both sides should try hard. What about the issue that you raised, regret? Yeah, I believe in it. And I think that regret causes discouragement. Whenever we're talking about the regret of, for example, why did I say yes to this guy?
Oh, that's the thing.
What have you done to me?
Yeah.
And you made me miserable. Okay, these are the
I have other
sentences.
chances. I had other chances.
Lots of chances that if I didn't say yes to you, they may,
I would have
I
had
would
better
be,
life.
I would be satisfied.
Yeah.
And all of these, regret comes out of dissatisfaction. And, this kind of resentment comes out of dissatisfaction and expectations. High expectations. These are the things that ruin the life.
From both sides.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's not only a man who would be the victim or a woman. Both might be the victim.
Imagine one side of the life. I don't like, always to say that the husbands or the men, because I see that in today's life, both sides are trying hard and work outside of home.
To make a living. Yeah.
Exactly, to make a living. Therefore, we see that when one side is trying very hard and we are diminishing, their motivation by saying that you haven't done anything to me and you haven't done anything for their life and for the children. This is me who have tried hard, or we diminish the other side. We are, disheartening.
Yes.
Zahrajan, when a wife expresses regret, not only hurt the feeling of a man, but diminishes all of the, trying motivation and contribution of the man in the family, because we're destroying the life with our own hands. We are saying that you're trying and your effort doesn't have any role and doesn't make sense in my life and the life of the children. Therefore, when we are ruining the, motivation of a person who is working outside, it means that stop. I don't want your contribution.
Especially when we say it out loud. The other side. Yeah, if we say it out loud directly to his face, of course the motivation would be lost forever. Exactly. And imagine the effects of these kind of words on our children. When in the house, they just hear all these things every day, every single day. The mother repeats all these things. This is a kind of
unfair, disheartening, I think. In my point of view, I think we should, by any act of ourselves, we should hearten the others. We should, fuel the energy of the other side. But when we are sapping the energy and we are ruining everything, killing the motivation and, the energy of one side for trying hard, because we see that, the financial issues in coping with, all of the difficulties in the society is very difficult, and both sides are trying hard. When we ignore one side and when we dismiss the trying of the other side and the effort of the man, for example, or the husbands, what is the consequence of that?
And it's what equally issues when a man does that?
It
says, what are you doing in the house every day and night?
In my point of view, this kind of behaviors erode all of the outcomes of a family life. For example, when you gain, precious outcomes from this long-term life by regretting after, facing with some of the difficulties or the mistakes that one side is making, we ruin everything. And we erode, the outcomes that we had after this long term of life. Therefore, we should have a very long perspective. We should look at the other side alongside with the life of the children. Because the children are the result of this happy marriage. If they think that this marriage is not happy and is not healthy, and they are the result of this kind of marriage, what kind of,
they will feel extra in this position.
Exactly. The psychological traumas, mental issues may happen to them. And it is like a chain that they drag on their shoulders from one life to the other life. And even if we are the children of such kind of, ill marriages, we should cut this chain from somewhere. We shouldn't let this, ill behavior, ill kind of speaking, ill behavior, this, complexes from, the previous life into the other life, into
generation
the next life.
To generation.
Exactly, generation to the generation. So we should look at our children and we never should regret, because, there is a riwayah from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam that when a woman says to the man that you never done any good to me, Allah skips all of the good things and the merits that the woman has done before, because it is a kind of unfair, behavior. Therefore,
where do you think this comes from? For example, imagine a woman who is living in the house and the man always does this, bad behavior to her. That what are you
True
doing
point.
in the house?
Yeah.
And she says, okay, what are you doing outside the house? That's kind of a
Dissatisfaction.
fight. Yes,
The
dissatisfaction.
first one is dissatisfaction,
Yeah.
and the second one is high expectations.
Do you remember when we were talking about
The previous
the
session, we
previous
talked
session?
a
We
lot.
talked about it, and we were like, okay, how can two partners be like enemies to each other? In this part, we can see the actual enemies here that are fighting with each other.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And we see in the families, one of the, I think, envy
Uh-huh.
or jealousy,
Mm-hmm.
comparing one
I was
life to
gonna
the
say
other
that.
life,
Comparing your husband to the other, your life to the
your life to the
other, your
others.
children to the other.
Jealousy and envy, are two
True.
bad moral vices that we should, reject them all. They are prohibited from the Islamic point of view.
Exactly.
These
That's
two
the thing that
things
makes us
causes
sad.
lots of,
Yeah.
bad effects on our lives.
Yeah.
When I compare my life to the others, even
Mhm.
to my sisters, to
Exactly.
my neighbors, to my colleagues,
Which normally happens.
yeah, then I see
Mm.
some dissatisfaction.
Mhm.
Her husband has done this for her, but what have you done to me
Mhm.
and for me?
True.
So, yeah, it raises, high expectations. I say that, okay, this is, and whenever we see ourselves higher than, in a higher status that we are in,
Mhm.
I say, this is not my status. I am a noble person from a noble family, and you should, do this. This is not my status. Therefore, you have to do better
Mhm.
and, make many things in a higher, position and
Positions
senses
from
for
it.
me.
Yeah.
Why? Because I see myself more than what I am.
So, I want to ask this.
Zahra Jan, let me
Yeah.
finish this point.
Yeah.
I want to conclude a very good thing from this part that I told
true.
you. We should, when it is not bad to imagine that we are from a nobility and from a noble family,
Yeah.
or I have a high status, because these things causes me to behave better, to act better, and to make
sure.
a better life. But we should we should remember this point,
Mhm.
that we should be humble
Exactly. What we are asked in our
and
religion.
have content.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we have content, it means that I don't want more than I need.
But it has
I
nothing
don't
to do even
expect
with
more I
religion,
need.
huh? I mean, you don't need to be a
Religion-
Muslim to be a humble person. Because,
Religion teaches all
Yeah,
of these things
exactly.
to us. But we should, if we are pious people
Yeah.
and have a kind of pious lifestyle, we remember them.
Remember.
Otherwise, we say that, no, this materialistic life doesn't look at such issues like this,
True,
okay?
yeah. But how do you think that is the best way to criticize your man if it is needed, or by the times that are really needed? What should we do? For example,
What do you yourself think?
we talked about it in our previous session, but I normally always I do it. Whenever our children are not home or they're asleep, I do talk with the man. I mean, he is a human. He has ears, he has mind, and he can hear me. I should say what talk about what are the things that are hurting me and what are the things that I am in need for in my life. And sometimes he says, "Okay, I will do it more." Or sometimes he says, okay, because of this reason, I can't do this. And we manage things. We balance things, as you said. We're balancing things. That's the thing I do.
You see, Zahra?
Yeah.
It's very easy and common.
There's no
you can
way
find
to
the answer
fight
of the
over
question very
everything.
easily.
Yeah.
When you think as a human being.
Exactly.
When you think that what is the outcome of this kind of behavior, what should I do, and what is the consequences of such kind of, moral vices, you find the answer very easily.
Exactly. Even with harsh people, there are some good and very, very, very kind and slow motion people who we can talk with them so in a peaceful way. But there are some people who we know them as harsh people. But when we talk with them in a logical way, in a quiet place, in some situations that he's not angry and he or she is not angry, when you talk with them, it actually works. It actually works. I have done
For
it many
sure.
times with my father, with my father-in-law, whomever who we know them
No
as.
doubt.
Yeah. When you talk with them and you feel that I am talking with a person, a human being that has a brain, has a mind, has feelings. But when you say that, okay,
Zahra,
he's
again, this is
yeah,
mutual.
yes,
We shouldn't
exactly. I'm
forget.
saying, yeah.
Zahra, when I say that all of these behaviors, regret, and, comparing our lives to the others comes out of dissatisfaction,
Mhm.
it means that one side of the life doesn't work well.
Mhm.
It means that I didn't do my responsibilities very well.
True.
It means that I skipped some parts of the responsibilities. I didn't do favor toward the other side.
Mhm.
And this make resentment for
Okay.
her.
Mhm.
This resentment caused her to openly regret.
Thanks God. There's like, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
When we openly regret and we voice our dissatisfaction,
True.
this makes, this ruins the life and destroy the outcome of your long-term life.
But do you think that this being a voice and saying your dissatisfactions, it comes after maybe 10 times of being, calling
It depends.
calmly, and you say everything in a calm way? But after 10 times, 100 times of not being heard, then you need to
If you've
shout.
said 10 times, that's okay.
Yes, that's
So
better.
openly,
Yes, true.
openly voice your dissatisfaction after 10 times.
True.
It's not unfair.
It is.
Of course, I'm joking, but always we should be reasonable and wise
Yes.
how to utter our dissatisfaction
Exactly.
in a way that we shouldn't discourage the people,
Mhm.
discourage the family members. Okay?
Exactly. You said family members. That's the thing. I'm going to talk about it, and I read it in this book also. That whenever you have a dissatisfaction in your life, times that you have so much anger over something, whatever it could be, over, I don't know, a cold tea, I don't know. Bringing up your family members and wrong people who you're talking your problems with them, that causes even more problem. Sometimes being silent and not shouting and just shouting on your husband is
Yeah, I
enough.
couldn't agree more. I know,
Bringing
that's right.
some
Yeah, because in this
everyone
way
as a
we're
counselor in your life just ruins
in this
everything.
way we are overlooking the positive behaviors of the other side.
Yeah,
Dismissing such kind of behaviors,
true.
lead to this kind of consequences.
Yeah.
And there is no more words to say.
True.
This is something clear, no question in it. We should be humble, although we are in a high status, although we belong to a noble family. But we should, at this time and this position, we should look at the circumstances.
This regret, the word regret, is really dangerous. Is it really dangerous word?
Of course it is.
Especially when we are using it in a family.
Not even in a marriage.
Not even in a marriage. Yeah, exactly.
Even when you are alone.
Exactly.
And it's a kind of reflecting, okay?
Yeah.
When you're reflecting to yourself and you regret your life, you regret that, the years that you've lost and you passed. You regret, the lessons that you haven't studied.
Yeah.
All of these kills the motivation.
True.
Because you should, fuel the energy to go on and to continue. But whenever you regret all of the times and everything that you've lost, it shows that, okay, I don't have any energy and my energy sapped and I cannot continue. This means that I am a hopeless person.
This brings
I have no
depression
hope for continuing.
to your soul.
Yeah, and finally it ends into depression.
Exactly.
And collapse you.
True.
Zahra, now I want to ask you, as a person who is researching and investigating about the family life and Islamic lifestyle, I want to ask you, what is the resolution for this kind of behaviors, like not to regret or avoid regretting, avoid discouragement?
I personally think that maybe being grateful in your life, grateful for every little, details of your life, seeing every good thing that happens to your life, whatever that your partner, your children, or whomever who is living with you is doing for you, really helps, being grateful. And sometimes knowing that remembering, I should say, remembering how much you felt happy being by their sides, and even, especially imagining that even one day, if one day they won't be by your side, what would happen if they won't be by your side, and how much,
So you
would
say that
feel the
remembering and reminding the happy moments of the life,
exactly,
being grateful.
just
Yeah,
don't
that's right.
forgetting the times that you felt like, okay, I would not be able to live without this person. Remembering these things would really help, I think.
Zahra Jan, I think that mentioning, some words and some bad words like divorce, as the researches shows, on many couples, this research has done, and it said that the couples that talked about the issue of divorce, experienced a very bad moments in their life more than the others who had the same problems.
Heavy, right? Yeah.
They have the same problems, but by compatibility and by compromise, as we explained the previous session, they tolerate the difficulties, they skip some of the mistakes of the other side, but they don't mention the word divorce. They feel and experience more happy moments than the people who are talking about divorce.
True.
While we should know that the word divorce has a very bad
effect,
impression on the children as well.
True.
And I think
what kind of
a
life
woman
would it be?
should approach calm and wisdom and behave toward the men. And of course, they will have great moments, inshallah, by by remembering Allah in their life, remembering the seerah and the lifestyle of infallible imams. Otherwise, we see that these moral vices ends into impulsive behaviors and hurtful remarks.
True. Fatma, I learned a lot today from you. Thank you very much. Our addresses should tell us what topics would they like us to talk about. Inshallah, in next sessions.
Inshallah, we can choose, some other topics from the list of the contents of both books and the addresses. Inshallah, enjoy us.
Inshallah.
And we can have great times together.
Really, some topics, some contents are really useful in our life. Sometimes when you read this book, you will understand that, okay, this really happened in my life. Okay, this really happened in my life. And you will see that this is a really practical book.
These are out of the common experiences.
Inshallah, next sessions we will see you again and we'll enjoy your knowledge. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
See you later.
Goodbye.